So there's really a lot to think about as we're looking at the market in Marion County. So lots of interesting things, lots of changes, lots of different things happening right now. I'm seeing this around the country where the market has cooled off in a lot of different places. And we're starting to see a cool off period. It's taken a couple of months for the market to really react to the higher interest rates. We're starting to see some of that. It's taking hold. And it doesn't mean that it's a cold market, but definitely a much cooler market. And that's exactly the purpose of what the Fed wanted to accomplish with the higher interest rates. So we're looking at, over 1,400 homes on the market in Marion County. And what I'm showing you right now is a cumulative total. So 1,400 residential homes, according to MLS in Marion County. If we look at the stats, and this is the combined number of, it's, commercial and residential, and you got a combined effect here. So you're looking at 1892 in May of 2022. And we've been obviously the last 2 years pretty much starting with, let me show you this. This is a really interesting number here. Look at January of 2012. So literally 10 years ago, we were in the 5,000 mark. So literally over 3 times the amount of inventory in any given month existed on the market back in 2012. And that really, if you look at it for 4 or 5, really 4 years, all the way through 2015, lots of consistency there. Still maybe broke the barrier of 5,000 back in July of 2015, went to 49.94, but still stayed right around the 5,000 mark. We had a couple of months in 2016 that hit 5,000. Then 2017 never hit 5,000. Same thing with 18, same thing with 19. And then big difference, obviously, once COVID hit in 2020. The number of properties on the marketplace really started to drop back in 2020. And of course, looking at 2022, looking at these numbers here, those numbers are even half of what they were back in 2020. So it pretty much was half. If you take 2020 numbers, these are inventory numbers, number of homes on the market, half of what we saw back in 2012 to 2015, and then another half in 2022. And now we're starting to see a climb up in inventory. So as you can tell, so we're seeing about 10 to 15% increase in inventory over the last several months. So that's really intriguing. So that's one thing to really look at. So a lot of people are asking, are we seeing a market collapse? Because it is stark contrast to what we've seen in past years and past months. It definitely feels different for the folks that I'm talking to around the country, folks that obviously I'm a broker here at Realty Executives. And, we've got over 90 plus agents in the villages and Ocala offices. So I get to hear what people are saying. And essentially what we're seeing right now is definitely a cooling off period. It doesn't feel like a crash. Look, if it does crash, we're just going to let you know. I'm going to tell you right away. But it does feel like a very much a cooling off period where part of it is middle of summer, part of it is interest rates, part of it is a lot of different things that we're seeing around the country, around the world as well. And, people are a little bit afraid of, what is going to be next. So there is a little bit of that going on. So one more slide I want to show you is that it'll give you a little bit of insight of whether we're seeing a collapse. So obviously we're seeing increased inventory, but to give you a little bit of perspective, back in 2012, 13, and 14, these were recovery years. 2015 through 2020 and through 2019 were pretty solid years. So we were far enough away from the real estate depression of 2008, 2009, and 10. And then we're looking at 19 months supply of inventory. That's what we're looking at right now. The months of inventory, meaning if all the properties were to sell, if at the current rate of sales in that particular year, that given month, how long would it take for all of the homes to sell. So for instance, January 2012, when it says 19, what that means is that you've got 19 months supply of homes. It would basically take 19 months at the 2012 January rate of sales. Back then, how fast homes were selling, it would have taken 19 months for all the properties to come off the market if no new homes were to be added to the inventory. So for instance, in a very simple example, if there were 100 homes selling every single month, that means there were 1,900 homes on the market. I mean, obviously that's a way too low number. I've given you an example just to really explain what we're seeing here, right? So if 100 homes were selling per month in Marion County, Florida, in the Ocala region, there would have been 1,900 homes, and it would have taken 19 months for all those homes to sell. So, which is quite a lot. I mean, 19 months. A seller's marketplace is determined by 6 months of inventory. We're talking about 19 months, which is a lot, and still not the worst that we saw back in 2010, late 2009, 2012. We're seeing a recovery, and obviously you're seeing that with the rest of 2012, the number of properties coming on the market and selling still in a double-digit month range. Now, moving forward, if you start looking at what we're seeing now, you're looking at a big difference. So all the way through to 2020, 5.4, 5.4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2021, 3, 3, and then 2 the rest of the year, 2 months supply of homes, and then now 2022, 2 months supply of homes. It's months of inventory basically is pretty low in Marion County even today. So we've seen a pretty much in phases. We've seen 3 or 4 different phases over the last 10 years, and obviously the latest phase started to occur in 2020 with dropping of inventory, as you can tell here, and now we're starting to see a climb in inventory. And of course, I think we're going to start seeing the rest of this year, June, July, August, September. We're going to be seeing a rise in this number. So we're not going to be seeing 2s. And I think we're going to start seeing 3s. It wouldn't shock me. Market collapse. No, people are still buying. So that's really something to look at. I think we're seeing less sales, right? So that's definitely a thing. Number of sales has decreased a little bit, but inventory being still significantly low and lower than what we've seen in past years is definitely holding and buoying the market. It's propping the market up. So it's very interesting. If you have questions, let me know. Let me know if you have questions. You can connect with me at any moment. 352-572-3796. I'm the broker here at Realty Executives. And of course, leave your comments. I'd be really interested to see where you're living, what part of the state, and if you're in Florida, or what part of the country you're from. And let me know what you're seeing in your market. I have a connection with about 45 different people that are telling me what's happening in their market around the country. And it's very similar to what we're seeing here in Florida for sure. So let me know, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Take care.